Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan. How's it going, everybody? This afternoon, I'm going to play a little bit more Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, and I got all of the new wave that just came out. I wanted to show you that real quick. So first of all, like last time one of these came out, it's, I think, the prettiest, or at least one of the prettiest things in the Heroes of the Grid collection. This is the Scenario Book 2. It's just preposterous, the amount of work that goes into these and how much nicer they look than they have to. We're really going above and beyond with this. Look at the production value. You got the nice glossy print, and you've got this fantastic front and back. Look at Zed there. Oh boy, that's just wonderful. And because I'm a Lord Zed collector, if I wasn't in this game, I'd have to get this anyway. So I'm glad that I'm all in on this. But yeah, so these are the scenarios that come out each month that you get for free. And now we have them all printed, and this is probably not fully up to date. I don't even know how many scenarios we're up to now, but this goes up to 24, which is Grid Scramble, and a lot of these I've not tried yet. We'll have to do some scenarios here on the Heroes of the Grid streams at some point, and one of these is, besides solo mode, is just a solo scenario for just playing by yourself in solo mode. And of course, we'll be playing solo mode today again, and I wanted to try out some of the new content. I've got everything sleeved. I've got everything ready to go. Hold on, I need to find a place for this book. And we're not going to use everything, but I wanted to try out a couple of the new Rangers along with somebody I'm really familiar with, and then a monster and one of the new bosses. There's a lot of concern these days, or at least I say a lot. There's a little bit of concern about power creep with this game. Things are getting really, really difficult, and there's kind of a question as to whether some of the earlier Rangers are really viable in fighting some of the new monsters and bosses, and I think that's inevitable. I don't think there's any way around it. I don't mind having some just impossible to play, or nigh impossible to play monsters and bosses, given that there's so much material in the game. There's a ridiculous amount of things that you can play with, so I don't mind that it's not perfectly balanced. You're going to have, and I mean, I think it's pretty balanced. You're going to have some Rangers that are going to be not as equipped to go up against certain bosses that are just insanely powerful. I don't really have a problem with that. Having said that, because I'm playing what might be the most powerful boss in the game, or at least looks it, I've not tried it yet, with Evox, Perfect Evox, I decided to make myself as OP as humanly possible. So I did throw Gold Ranger in here along with a couple of the new Rangers. So here is, without doing a full-on review of this, here are the new boxes that came out this time. So no big box yet. That's going to be later in the year. Like a big theme box. We have a few of those now. There's Rangers United, and the most recent one is Light and Darkness, and there's a lot of speculation, of course, as to what the next one's going to be. A lot of people think it's probably SPD. Could be something to do with RPM, considering how much RPM we're also setting up with this. So this is the Shadow of Venjix theme pack, and it includes Tanea 7 from RPM, who we're going to play today if we get that far. Steel, who is from Beast Morphers. Final Venjix, Perfect Evox, and Nate Silva. So quite a bit of stuff from Beast Morphers, and that's because, spoiler alert, for that show, we find out at the end of that show that Evox is indeed Venjix, who is the villain from RPM. So those two shows are intricately linked, ultimately, by the end of that. And then the other box is the Rangers Ally Pack number 3, which is all female Rangers, and this is the thing I was most excited for with this wave, because I've been wanting alien Rangers forever, and we got my favorite, who is Delphine, and that is the White Alien Ranger. And we also got Corone, who I was really kind of expecting in the Light and Darkness box, but since we already had Astronema, it would have been weird to put her there, I guess, because you would have had to do Astronema again. So now we finally have her. It's the Pink Ranger from Lost Galaxy, because Corone takes over for Kendricks in that show. by the end. And you've also got Udana, who I'm going to play with along with White Alien Ranger. And by the way, I don't know if I'll get through a full game today. I should be able to play for at least an hour and a half or so, but I've got family coming over later, and I ended up starting streaming a little bit later than I wanted to. So I'm going to do my best to get through a game, but I might have to split this into a couple. But anyway, so we got Delphine, Corone, Udana, and that is the, and I've never seen this show, but I think that's kind of the big, powerful Sixth Ranger from Mystic Force, and she is also in Battle for the Grid. She's in the fighting game, and then we've got Kendall, and we've got from Dino Charge, and we've got Dr. K, who is oddly our first and only right now RPM Ranger. She functions a lot more like Alpha, where she's a support character and hangs out in the command center. I thought about using her as well, because she's got, it looks like, a lot of abilities that help make you, a lot more powered, a lot more powerful, but I was concerned about not having enough attack, so I decided not to go for that. We have a monster and a boss today that each have a card that can take one of your cards completely out of the game. So that was not a mechanic we had before. I'm terrified of it. We'll see how it goes. That is kind of getting into almost deck builder mechanics. Remove a card completely from the game. Anyway, welcome everybody. Let's see if there's anybody in the live comments right now. There's Tom. How's it going? He says, I interrupted his watching Kitchen Nightmares. Well, that's a fun show, except for the, the gross out stuff. And Hayden Spring, hey, look, the game I can't afford. Yeah, sorry, but in my defense, it's the only thing well, it's pretty much the only thing I regularly keep up with and spend a lot of money on. I am getting as close as I can to buying everything Renegade is doing with Power Rangers. So we've been buying and playing the deck builder as well. I haven't been pre-ordering those, but I am mostly caught up on that. And we also started in on the RPG too, but I haven't started actually playing that yet. Hayden, I Like You Donna said that actress passed away. I didn't realize that. I had no idea. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get right into this. I've got a new setup here, so hopefully this works out okay. I found a way to mount the camera nearly from the ceiling, so we've got a good top-down view. Hopefully everybody can see what I'm doing a little bit better this time. And I've also got a secondary camera, and you can see my lovely face. Hi there. How's it going, everybody? I'm going to go ahead and let you know what my Ranger abilities are, start drawing cards, and get right into it. I'm kind of terrified of this game. I have made this probably entirely too hard, and we could die on like the second or third deployment. But let's see what happens, shall we? Okay, so as I said, I'm starting with Udana, who is the White Mystic Ranger. And once again, neither of these have I played with yet, so I'm going to need a little bit of time as we go to read cards, and hopefully there's not, too much dead air, but there will be a little bit of downtime. Reserved Strength. Once per battle during any Ranger attack, you may convert 1 damage or double damage results to a blank result. If you do, gain 2 energy. She seems to be all about, and I've looked at her cards and her Zord, she seems to be all about rolling blanks, which would make her, oh, I'm sorry, that's Udana. Delphine is all about blanks, and Udana seems to be about that to some degree as well. I guess I'll see how that goes. No, I'm conflating them. I actually have not looked at her deck yet. Delphine seems to be the perfect Ranger for my son Jason, who is always complaining about how bad his rolls are, and she's all about rolling blanks. But it seems like Udana has that to some degree as well, where you'll intentionally get a blank, and that gains you energy. I don't know if it helps you in any other way with her deck, but I thought they would go really well together because Delphine wants blanks, so if you convert to blanks with Udana, Delphine might give you helpful things as well. And then I picked Tray of Triforia, the Gold Ranger from Zeo, who is my favorite Ranger in history and one of my favorite Rangers in the game, and he is super powerful, so I thought he would be really helpful for the difficult game we're going to play today. He, of course, has Power of Triforia. Each time you play a card, in addition to its normal effects, resolve the Gold Ranger ability on that card. Those have the King Japanese kanji, which is my tattoo, You may spend 1 energy to resolve that ability a second time. And then Delphine is the White Aquitar Ranger, of course. She has Honor of Aquitar. Once per battle, when any Ranger rolls a blank result during an attack, deal 1 damage to an enemy card of your choice. So I made this as much of an arsenal as humanly possible. Hayden wants to know who I'm fighting. And by the way, nothing but Gold Ranger on the board is painted today. I usually don't stream with a lot of unpainted stuff, but I want to try out all, or some of, anyway, these new characters. So got a lot of unpainted stuff on the table here. But I'm going to be fighting Elsa, who I haven't played in a while, and I almost put her in our Dino Thunder game last time and didn't, so I thought I would do that. And she's one of the only Dino Thunder things I haven't painted yet. And then we're going to play against Tanaya 7, who is from RPM, and again, she's got one of those pesky cards that will remove one of your cards entirely out of the game. And then we've also got Perfect Evox, and he looks like he'll be a lot of fun to paint. And he is, of course, from Beast Morphers. All right, everybody ready? Here we go. Everybody into the pool. Hi, Michael. Good to see you. He says... Oh, he's the one who had mentioned that the Adana, or maybe it was Hayden Spring. I'm not sure. Anyway, he says they seem to like separating a Ranger from a team into an Allies pack before releasing the whole team. Yeah, and some people have complained about that, folks that don't want to buy everything, which I completely understand. It's not a thing that bothers me because I've been all in since 3 years ago when I bought a whole collection out. So that hasn't been a big deal to me, except for sometimes just having to wait around for the rest of a team that you really like to come out. But it does seem to maybe be a way to entice people to buy stuff they wouldn't otherwise. So, like, I get why that irritates people. At the same time, it also gets... Like, there's kind of 2 sides to this, because I think if that's not the motivation, or maybe it's multiple motivations, but I think... The bigger thing is just appeasing people who, especially early on, who didn't only want Mighty Morphin in the game. So you could put other Rangers with Mighty Morphin and other stuff and start getting as much of Power Rangers lore represented as possible, because these kinds of games usually have a life cycle of just a couple of years, and we're coming into the 5th now. And a lot of people assumed, including the producers and Jonathan Ying, that, Scott Gata and Jonathan Ying, that this game would probably not continue long enough to get everything represented, much less every Ranger of every show in the game. And at this point, we are a lot closer to having at least one Ranger from every series, especially now that we've got an Alien Ranger, and like our Ranger from RPM isn't actually a Ranger, but we've got a playable character from almost every show at this point. And I think that's a lot of the reason that was done as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get our deployment out. So we've got 2 Mastodon troopers going to the dockyard. And I probably made my foot soldiers a little bit too difficult this time as well, but I'm just playing with guys that I already had on the board from another game I did with the kids last week. Z-Putty at the power plant. I'm just going to play with 4 deployment. I've been doing that in solo mode because you're all by yourself and you can't spread across the board, so it makes it almost too difficult, I think, to play with 3 deployment. Pardon me, 5 deployment. 3 deployment would be way too easy. We've got 3 Zs at the Resistance hideout. I hope everyone is having a pleasant Saturday afternoon. To be honest with you, it is insanely nice outside here. It's about 76 degrees. I was just out checking the mail, and I was like, man, I'd kind of rather be outside today. But my son, Jason, has a... Let me get my Mastodon troopers here. Jason has a performance. He's in a ballet and a in a dance recital this afternoon, and I had to stay back to watch my girls who are taking a nap right now, my twin almost 2-year-olds, and so I had just enough time to stream some, and that's why I'm here with you guys, because I'm stuck inside. So if my girls start crying real hard, I'm going to have to call it a day, but hopefully we'll get to play for at least an hour before that happens. Hi, Lewis Cox. How you doing? He says, have you seen Once and Always? Yes, I have, and we have a long review of that on the channel if you want to see Jason and I talk about that. And, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We have an even longer review of that on the channel. I liked both. Guardians 3 was cool and fun for me. I had positive reviews of both of them. Yes, absolutely. It's been a good couple of months. Hayden Spring, do they have foot soldiers from other seasons? Yes, indeed. We're up to 9 or 10, I think. You know, I'm thinking about doing a collection video at some point and just breaking down everything that's in the game for folks that only have some of it or haven't gotten into it yet at all, at the risk of overwhelming people that have been considering it but then see just the sheer crazy amount of stuff. You don't have to buy everything to have a lot of variety and versatility with this game, certainly. I'm just kind of in an obsessed place with it, with all the different kind of hobbies that it itches, and so that's why I'm all in on it. But, you know, I want to encourage people to at least get the base set, maybe 1 or 2 expansions, because just get your favorite stuff, because you can play lots and lots of games with just 3 or 4 boxes and have plenty of fun with it. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. So I am looking at one panicked area in the Resistance hideout. We probably should start there. So let me go ahead and flip an action to move. It's solo mode, so I'm going to take all 3 of my guys over to the Resistance hideout, and I will make, it's not really going to matter right now, I don't think, but I guess I'll make Udana the lead ranger. I'm going to flip another action to initiate. I'm going to put 2 energy in the shared energy pool, and I'm going to drop to 7. Now, not knowing these decks super well, I'm probably going to lean kind of hard on Gold Ranger. Let me start with 3 Gold Ranger cards. I've already got a Golden Power Staff, so that's good. And then I'm going to draw, 2 Udana cards? Let's say 3 Udana cards. No. Let's say, 2 and 2 here. And 2 Delphine cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We are ready for battle here. And I've got 2 heavy hitters here. And I've got an Inspiring Presence. That'll be good. Get us some energy here pretty soon. Okay, let's put out our foot soldiers. We've got, like I said, 3 and 2. I'm going to put out, I think, 3 Zs and 1 Mastodon Trooper, because the Zs I find a little bit easier. Although I saw a list the other day on the Heroes of the Grid, or I guess I should say just the Power Rangers tabletop Facebook group, and there was a guy who posted a ranked list of all of the foot soldiers from least to hardest, and I disagreed with a lot of what was on his list. He had the Z Putties, I think, all the way at number 1 or 2 as hardest, and I don't think that they are. They're not easy, certainly, but I think some of the newer things are much more difficult. But yeah, maybe next time I'll break out Cogs or Tronics, or I'm trying to think of what else we've got. And I'm looking over at my shelves and realizing that I just did a bunch of priming lately, so a lot of my figures aren't even over there. Lewis, okay, thanks, Cap. No problem. Hayden, are the girls yelling at you yet? Nope, they're taking a nap. Hayden, it might be weird to only have the base set and then SPD and Dino Thunder. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I would kind of go, like I said, just based on whatever your favorite things are, or do a little bit of research and see what mechanics in the game look most fun to play with. Because I don't think that's crazy. I think if you're just going for like your favorites and some of the best shows, like Mighty Morphin, and then Dino Thunder and SPD, 2 of the best shows. So it may be weird to like never have a white and green ranger. So what I would suggest actually is do that, but then also round it out with the Tommy pack, because then you'll have Green Ranger and you'll get the rest of Dino Thunder that way. And I guess do you get White Ranger that way too? I can't remember if he's in that box. Let me look over here. No, he's in that box too. I'm forgetting because he's also in... See, I had him already because white and green are both in the big $150 Kickstarter box. And so they double up, but you get new sculpts and new powers for the character cards. I'm going to finally play here, guys. Here we go. I'm always conflicted when I'm doing these streams, because it's like, am I making a stream, you know, like a Twitch stream, which I've been kicking around doing for this game, doing a Twitch channel? Am I doing a stream, or am I making a video? Like, which is it? So, like, how much am I making this for the folks that are hanging out with me right now, and for the folks that are going to watch later? It's a road that you got to walk. It's a thin line. Okay, here we go. Dragon Cannon is fast, and that is going to hit me right away to drain an energy, and then each ranger must discard a card from their hand. Well, that sucks. Remember how I said the Macedon Troopers were harder? And of course, the one I got had to be that card. I'm just going to make sure I don't have a way around fast or anything, and I don't. So yeah, lose an energy, and each of my rangers has to discard a card, but I get to pick what they are. I have 2 Inspiring Presences, so I guess I'll lose one of those, which I kind of hate doing. And I'm going to lose a, let's see, Flash Freeze or Mystic Frost. 2 direct damage, that's nice. I guess I will lose that for right now, though. So, Mystic Frost. I'm immediately digging her cards, though. As always, the art is really on point here. And I guess I'll lose an Equation Saber for right now. That sucks, just right at the front, having to lose all those cards. But it being solo mode, I'm going to get to draw a lot. So that'll be good. I got to not forget about the self-destruct that's there. Okay, well, I'm going to play my Inspiring Presence and gain an energy, and then another ranger may immediately play a card. Better take out that Overwhelm, because we're going to have to skip the next ranger turn. So I'm going to throw Flash Freeze at it from White Mystic Ranger. It's a 3-dice attack, and if you roll at least 2 blank results... Yeah, so she's also majorly about blanks. Interesting. During this attack, the rangers may take an additional turn. What? That's awesome. All right. This is going to be fun, learning these new cards. And there are some rangers, quite a few actually, from the last couple of waves that I've never played with, or I've only played with once. So when I'm doing these streams, I'll break some of those out and try some new things. Okay, so I'm going to pay an energy. And I'm going to throw 3 dice at that Overwhelm. Nothing's guarded. I got only 1 blank result, so I don't get to take another turn. But the 2 damage does take out that Overwhelm. And you know, I'm looking at my dice here. I bet it's difficult on stream to see. Yeah, I'm looking at that. It's going to be hard for you guys to see what the results are. So I'm going to actually grab my Gold Ranger dice, which are just right over here. It's an excuse to play with my favorite dice. I just figured I would start with white because we're playing with 2 White Rangers. But yeah, here's my Gold Ranger dice. You should be able to see that better. Oh yeah, that is very clear. Okay. Let's see, Mystic, Gold. Alrighty. And I get to draw a card. So I will draw... Man, I don't even know what I want right now, because everything looks really neat at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and draw from Udana's deck. Self-destruct resolves. I did kill a Z-Putty, so I have to take 2 damage per self-destruct. Can't forget to do that. So I'll take it from Delphine's deck. Encouraging Word goes to the bottom of my deck because that's got 3 defense. Lewis, I know some things about RPM and Samurai/Super Samurai, but never watched the shows. I liked the suit. Yeah, RPM I've seen the pilot of in the first, like, 3 or 4 episodes, but I've never been all the way through that show. And it is fascinating in its premise, and it's got some really neat characters, and I love what I've seen of it. I just haven't finished it. So eventually I will get there. Jason and I are going through post-Zordon era stuff right now, and we've been watching Lost Galaxy, which we will try to review when we finish it. Hello, AMC Comics. I am good. Hayden, one of those shows is a good show. The other is nah. Yep. I have heard that about, well, and Super Samurai, pardon me, Samurai I've seen an episode or 2 of, and yeah, was not impressed with that. And I know people don't love that. Okay. So let's go ahead and use Mystic Frost from Udana. It is 2 direct damage, and that will get Fierce Strike started. Bear with me for a second, guys. I gotta move my microphone. Okay. So I used Mystic Frost, and then this Z-Putty resolves, and I get to draw another card, and I'll draw it again from Udana, I think. Oh, I got her heavy hitter. Crap. I'm sitting here with massive attacks and very little energy. So I think what I'm going to do, Aquitian Laser is a 1-die attack. Add a die for each energy spent to play this card. You may re-roll any number of dice during that attack. I think that's probably the way to do this. Do I even need to spend any energy on it? It doesn't spread like a Blade Blaster. I thought it might, but it doesn't. So let me just throw 1 die, because I get a re-roll, and all I got to do is take out this Fierce Strike. Oh, and I got it in the first go, so I don't have to worry about that. And then that resolves. Oh, let's make sure that we put our guys on the track here. On the experience track. Okay, so I am not going to clear the resistance hideout in this first turn against it, but never fear, because we have to go back in anyway, since we started with 5. So do I want to try to kill that Dragon Cannon or that Self-Destruct? Let's go ahead and draw a Gold Ranger card. Oh, good. I got my Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is my favorite card in the whole game. Lightning Rod is a 1 energy attack. Gold Ranger. I should have brought my Gold Ranger staff over here. So I'm going to go after that Dragon Cannon. I'm going to throw 2 dice. It gets 1 direct damage on it right away. And then I'm going to throw 2 dice. And I only hit it for 1, but I also get to deal a damage to an enemy card of my choice, and that will kill it. You can almost always guarantee that you'll get at least 4 damage with a Lightning Rod, especially if you use Gold Ranger's ability and you resolve a second time, which is not going to help me right now, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just checking my Ranger abilities here and making sure that there's not anything I should have done. You may convert a damage or a double damage to a blank result if you do gain 2 energy. I gotta remember to do that, because that will be very helpful later when I'm low on energy. But it wasn't a necessary thing to do this time around. Jer Bear, Cap, when or what is the next tattoo? Okay, so the plan right now, hang on, make sure I'm not too lopsided here. This camera is not in the most stable place, and I've been a little bit concerned that it's going to fall off on me, so I might have to do something about that. Anyway, so I've been thinking about getting another Kryptonian tattoo, because I've got, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I've got this one on this arm. That's the most recent tattoo I got, and that is my wife's name spelled in with Kryptonian letters, and I'm thinking about doing it on the other arm, in between the Geekolution logo and Sonic and Knuckles, and it would be the first letters of each of my kids' names. And then I want to get I've been talking about this for months now, but I want to get a Ninja Turtle on my left leg to go with the Powerpuff Girl I have on my right leg. And so those are the next two things probably. And then I've got a couple of other ideas that I may or may not do along with or instead of those. I've been talking about getting a Death of Superman like bloody S logo on my back for a long time. So that could happen eventually. That might be the last tattoo I ever get when I do that. And I'm also talking about some kind of cartoony things that also have to do with my kids in the art style of Art Balthazar from Tiny Titans. So I've got 4 or 5 ideas. I don't know that I'm going to do all of that, but at least a couple of those. I'm definitely not done with tattoos. I'm definitely going to get at least 2 or 3 more probably, because I love them. A guy stopped me at the mall the last time I was there, and he said, "I love your tattoos. Where did you get them?" And so I told him about Electric Iron and Elmo, and he said, "Cool. My wife and I just moved to the area, and we want to get ring tattoos, like matching ring." I've never understood that. Like, first of all, that sounds like it would really, really hurt to get a tattoo just around one finger, and it looks difficult. And then it'd be a thing that people would hardly ever see. But I guess I like to stand out. Spring, you're a fiend. Cap, better buy a motorcycle. I'll get the geekiest motorcycle I can possibly get. I'll be like the Power Rangers. I'll get it, like, at the start of the year, like 5 or 6 days in, like 5 or 6 episodes in, and then you won't see it again until the very end of the year. Okay, so we're going to need to go back in here, and I guess I killed... Ooh, that last thing I killed, was that a Mastodon Trooper? Or was that a Z-Putty? I think it was a Mastodon Trooper, right? Yes? Yes. Okay. Let's go back in and kill these other 2 guys. So flipping another action, and I've got to put a Z-Putty and a Mastodon Trooper on the track. Let's start with the Z-Putty. Because with the Mastodon Trooper, it's the worst card again. It's going to be fast, so it won't really matter. It'll go to the front. Hayden Spring, get a Bat Cycle. Exactly. Oh, did we get... Oh, no, we got a different fast card. Alpha Strike, 4 total damage divided as you choose. That's not bad. So that is going to hit me right away. Let me draw back up to 7 here. Let's get a couple from Udana. Ooh, I got Winter's Guile twice. We'll see what that is. Winter's Guile, 3 dice attack. If you roll at least 1 blank during this attack, any ranger may immediately play a card with an energy cost of 0. I gotta really kind of rethink my process here because it's all about throwing blanks now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll get 1 from Delphine. Encouraging Word. I feel like that is a retread of another card. Sometimes Rangers will, like new Rangers will get cards that have been in the game already. Like, I'm forgetting what. There's a White Ranger card that Delphine has. I mean, she is a White Ranger, a Mighty Morphin White. But I think Encouraging Word is maybe a Ninja card? I forget. Anyway, play this card when another Ranger rolls at least 1 blank. During this attack, they may choose 1 card from their discard pile and place it on the bottom of their deck. Okay, so 4 total damage as we choose. I've not discarded much from Delphine yet, so I'm going to have her take 2. And she loses a false swipe, and then I'm going to have Udana take 2. Or do I want to do it with Gold Ranger? Yeah, I'll do it with Udana. Cold Spell. We've lost. All right. Do I have any 0-cost attacks right now? I've got 1. Let's go ahead and do Winter's Guile right away then. Get our energy in the track, or pardon me, in the pool, and then pay an energy to play Winter's Guile. I'm going to throw 3 dice at Fierce Strike. Can we do any better than that, though? If we did a heavy hitter, you know, I don't have a way to gain energy at the moment, but do I have that card that lets you get energy if you throw blanks? Oh, wait, no, that's not a card. That's... See, I'm learning this. That's preserved strength. You know what? Let's actually do that instead. Let's, instead of Winter's Guile, let's go ahead and do... Give me a second. Should we try Snow Staff? After you resolve this, four dice. After you resolve this attack, choose up to 2 cards from another ranger's discard pile and place them on top of their deck in any order. Pardon me. Yeah, let's do that. So we're gonna play Snow Staff, which means we've got to pay a reserve, and we're gonna throw four dice. Excuse me, at Fierce Strike. I can't talk today. 1, 2, 3 is what we needed. That kills the Fierce Strike. It puts a Z Putty on the track. Luckily, we don't have to take damage for it now. And we can do... Oh, cool. So we can do Honor of Aquitar from Delphine. Once per battle, when any ranger rolls a blank result during an attack, deal with damage to an enemy card of your choice. So we're going to put that on Alpha Strike. And then... Okay, it's converting damage to a blank to gain energy, which we don't want to do right now because we wanted to kill that Z-Putty, but that's cool. So then this resolves, and we've only got to hit Alpha Strike for 1. We also can draw a card, so I'll draw it from Delphine's deck. Choose up to 2 cards from any ranger's discard pile. From another... Okay, so you only get to do it from 1 discard pile. I've got a lot of luck going on here with Udana, so I think I'm going to pull it from her. Let's get Mystic Frost and Flash Freeze back and put those on top of my deck. New stuff always creates a bit of a different vibe in your game, especially if you play with like a new mechanic or a new idea that's in like, you know, multiple decks like this. It changes the game up to the point where you have to like think about it differently, and that's what I love so much about this game. Like, usually I'm trying to avoid blanks, of course, and now I'm trying to get them on purpose. Well, I think it's gonna be Armored Blow. So I'm gonna roll 2 dice against Alpha Strike, and I hit it for the one I needed, and we cleared this area and unpanicked it. Yay! So there was no chance of clearing the board this turn. I've still got 2 actions left though, so I could go over to the dockyard if I wanted to, instead of recovering. And I just got a bit of a recovery anyway for Udana. So, yeah. Jerbear thinking of adding any more arcades to the bunker? I'm out of space for arcades, honestly. Probably not at this point. Now, what I would probably do is if something came out that I just absolutely had to have, I would trade out one of them, and it would probably be Street Fighter, honestly. Not because I don't like Street Fighter, but it's probably the machine that gets played the least. Like, my kids aren't real big into Street Fighter. See, this camera is... There we go. And it's also in the worst shape. I bought it used, and it didn't look as good as I thought it did in the ad from Facebook Marketplace, but I ended up buying it anyway because it was cheap. So anyway, that was one of the first ones I bought. So I would probably just replace it with something else. But right now, there's not another one that I just absolutely have to have, I don't think. Just checking to see what else folks are saying in the comments here. Okay, let's go over to the dockyard. I feel like there's something I should have done that I'm forgetting and not doing? I guess not. Well, I was trying to decide if I was going to recover. No, let's just go over and clear out the dockyard here. Oh, I'm excited to paint some of this new stuff. AMC, so what Cap is saying is maybe a countercade. I don't know. I don't even have like counter space for a countercade, but there's a couple of those that would be cool. The one thing I don't have right now that's a little bit weird, and I'm not even a big fan of this, but I don't have any Pac-Man. Like, I've got Galaga, but not Pac-Man. And sometimes when people come over, they kind of want to play Pac-Man. Now, I've got a multicade. Well, it's not a multicade. It's a custom. I've talked about this before, but it's a custom, like coffee table machine, and it's a main cabinet, and so it's got a bazillion games in it, and so people can play Pac-Man on that. But I would kind of like to put a Miss Pac-Man in if I had the space, and maybe that's what I would replace that Street Fighter with. But I don't know. I'd also almost like to just get a nicer looking Street Fighter. So anyway, here come these Mastodon Troopers. We have an Armored Assault, which is guarding Alpha Strike, and that's fast, so it goes first. And once again, 4 total damage. Let's see if we've got any mitigators or anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who am I drawing from again? Let's go from Delphine. I am not seeing a lot of mitigators from these decks. I know Gold Ranger has one. Yeah, I can go ahead and play Golden Guard. Play this card when any ranger suffers damage to reduce it by 2. So then I'll just have Udana take the other damage. And she's going to take 2. We lose a Mystic Frost. Power Rangers, Mystic Frost. And every time you play a card, you can draw a card, whether it's an attack or not. So I think I might go ahead and do that. Just to make sure oh, Fainting Slash, that's what it was. That's the Mighty Morphin White card that she also has. So it sounds like Delphine has a couple of cards that are in other decks already. I'm going to draw one of hers too. Mostly just so I can get a sense of this deck. Aquitian Knuckle. That is a cool looking card. Attack, 1 damage. If you roll at least 1 blank during this attack, deal 3 damage to this target. So you're throwing 1 and hoping you suck. That's probably not the thing to play right now, though. Ooh, I know what I'm going to do. Here comes Winter's Guile. Forgot to put my energy in the pool, so we've just spent 3 dice against Armored Assault. We are hoping for a blank. And we didn't get one. We just murdered Armored Assault, though, so I guess that's good. But yeah, I was hoping to get to play another card with an energy cost of 0, because we might have been able to take out both cards in one fell swoop. But it's no big deal. That was just kind of overkill. Or overkill. I've been saying overkill ever since Spawn Year. So that Mastodon Trooper is dead. And, folks, we get our first Zord. Are you excited? Get excited. Get excited, folks. So I put mostly White Ranger Zords in here, and the first one is the Drago Zord. So, just for folks that haven't played this, when you play a 5 Ranger game, you have 5 Zords, each of course, the Rangers that you're playing with. But when you're playing with fewer, you have to pick a couple of other random Zords. Or just stack it however you want to. So I've got the Zords for the 3 Rangers I'm playing as, but then I had to pick 2 others. So that's why Drago Zord is here. Exhaust this card. That's Dino Thunder White. When an enemy card is defeated, deal 2 damage, divided as you choose among enemy cards adjacent to that card. I just don't have enough space for everything. AMC Arcade 1-Up makes this Pac-Man flatback thing that you can hang on the back of a door on a wall. Maybe a good alternative. Yeah, that's not what I would want to do with Pac-Man, though. I'd honestly maybe even go for a Street Fighter countercade. I think they made one of those before I would do that with Pac-Man, because I would want it to match my Galaga. So I would go for a full size one. I mean, not full size, but you know, the biggest one Arcade 1-Up makes. And I realized they're starting to make some actual full-size machines now, but just, you know, the 3/4 that they do to match my Galaga to put next to that. Because I wouldn't play it a ton, but I know my kids would, and my mom would when she comes over, and I like the look of the Miss Pac-Man machine a lot. So, I don't know, just to make it look more like a kind of, you know, classic, somewhat traditional arcade, it would be nice to have that there. Okay, this Mastodon that we just killed resolves. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, for another one of these. I will probably do more of this on time off on the weekends because I've been wanting to play this game more and play more with stuff that I haven't had a chance to try out yet. And I might as well share it with you when I've got time. And if you don't care, that's fine. But if you find it fun, it's very cool of you to be here. Let's try this Equation Knuckle, shall we? Well, I don't know. That's probably actually not the smartest thing to do right now. I just want to play it because it's crazy. Now, we'll just do this Winner's Guile again, because it's the last thing we're going to do this deployment anyway. 3 dice. And we got the 2 we needed. We also got a blank, so we could throw another attack, but we don't need to. That is pointless. Look, we're done. And our first... our first foot soldier on the track for our second... or toward our second Zord, I should say. All right, let's put out our next deployment, and then I'm going to take just a couple-minute break here. All right, we got 2 Mastodon troopers at the power plant. Meanwhile, at the power plant... The only thing I don't like about this setup is when I get in front of the mic, you guys can't hear me as well. I'll try to mess with that for next time. If I move it right now, because I couldn't find a better place to put my camera, so I have my camera on top of my mic stand right now. I'll come up with a better place to put it next time. 2 Z-Putties at the dockyard. Couple guys are talking about the Flash and how it's ending this season. It's 9th season, I think. And Lewis Cox says they did another Groundhog Day episode. Making me think of better episodes from other shows that did the Groundhog Day thing better. Well, yeah, and at the point when you're 9 seasons into a show like that and you feel the need to do the causality loop thing again, like you're kind of just going to the well and throwing a D20 and going, what sci-fi premise are we going to do this week? We've made too many of these. We're out of ideas. Which might go without saying. Okay, I've got 3 Z's at the dockyard. Oh, good, I'm already there. And finally, we're going to get our first monster out here. There's Elsa with 2 Z's at the Zord Graveyard. I have a Z-Putty here that I never finished painting. That's a surprise. A lot of my foot soldiers I have not done more than just a prime or a base coat, but the Z's I thought I was totally finished with. I guess I got to go back in and do that. But that's cool because they're fun. They have red eyes. Or at least the way I paint them, they do. Okay, so your monster always panics a location, and nothing else is panicked, so this doesn't look too bad right now. I think what I'll do is I'll try to take out these Z-Putties, and then I'll go to Elsa. That'll get us closer to a second Zord. But before that happens, I'm going to take a quick break, everybody. Once again, thanks for being here, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm back, folks. I keep forgetting I have this other camera here. You guys saw me just sit down, getting set up. I should get another screen for this show, so that you're not just looking at my normal camera setup. Okay, here we go. So we've got Elsa, who we're gonna fight here in just a minute. You know, I was going to mention, I am on the fence about something right now, and I'd love to know you guys' opinion on this. I've been wanting to do this more often when I've got time, and again, mostly just for fun. I mean, I'm not trying to, I'm not going to try to get rich playing Power Rangers or anything, but I've been kicking around maybe doing this on Twitch. Maybe simultaneous on YouTube or as its own thing. And everybody I've talked to says if you go on Twitch, you've got to stream at least 3 times a week to get noticed at all and to build any kind of following. And again, I don't have to build like a huge thing over there, but it would be neat to see if I can kind of strike out and do something a little bit different and build, maybe a little bit of a new audience. But 3 times a week, like I don't have time for that on top of Geekvolution. So I'm like, do I just do it, when I have time and hope, some folks show up? Do I simultaneously do it with YouTube and then just happen to have Twitch at the same time in case anybody else pops in? I just haven't decided if it makes sense to keep doing it exactly the way I'm doing it, or if I shouldn't do the Twitch thing. Like I'm trying to decide if I should just not do that if I can't be really regular with it, which is the advice that everybody on Twitch gives you. You got to do it at least 3 times a week for at least 2 hours of stream, and it's got to be consistently the same schedule every time. And I'm like, well, if I wasn't doing Geekvolution, I could do that, but I don't want to stop everything I'm doing on the channel just for Power Rangers. What I wanted to do with it, if time was no object, if I thought I really had the time to do this, what I'd love to do is make it not just Heroes of the Grid, but just Power Rangers gaming, because there's so much of it, and I could do video games and board game stuff, and nobody else over there or even on YouTube is doing that, where it's just Power Rangers gaming. And I'm like, I'm kind of uniquely set up to do that. It would be really neat. And I've been really preoccupied by it. I've been thinking about it a lot, but I've been scaling back on the channel because I need more time with my family and taking care of my kids and things, and I don't want to just, take up all the time I have now with another project. But at the same time, it sounds really cool. I think it would be really neat. So I can't decide what I'm going to do, but I've been thinking about it. AMC, maybe you can mix these in with your occasional game streams. Yeah, and that's probably what I'll do ultimately, if I can't find a way to, make the time for that idea. But I don't know. It's a cool idea. I've been thinking about it a lot. Anyway, let's put out my Z-Potties. I just always have too much I want to do. Hayden Spring plot twist. He blows up on Twitch. It would be really funny if that happened. And I mean, there's people that have just playing the one super niche thing. Here comes an Overwhelm and a Z-Shield and a Z-Shield. It's if Patrick Stewart was playing Power Rangers. And a Z-Shield. Okay, I'm going to drop 7. See, I am running a little bit low here. Almost forgot my energy in the command center. I should be good for this battle, and then I'll work on recovering after that. And 2 energy in the pool. There we go. That Overwhelm was guarded. I do not seem to have stuff that gets around guard. Tom just put in a super chat. Thanks, man. $5 super chat. He says, I'd probably do simultaneously. If there's a want, they will come regardless. The only thing I'm concerned about with that, because I've been watching Twitch a little bit lately, which I never used to do. And by the way, it's really addictive. Like, I've been finding people playing, like, retro stuff that I'm into. And I was watching, like, a couple last night playing Donkey Kong Country. And I found a girl who does board game streaming. And since that's what I want to do, I found an article written about her and how she had been successful at it, mostly just doing board games. And she happened to be streaming when I read that article. So I went and talked to her, and she was super cool. I wish I had her name right here so I could get you guys to go look at her to support that creator. But anyway, she was telling me that it's a bad idea to stream simultaneously because if you've got an audience in both places, it's difficult to keep up with the chats in both, and you'll inevitably leave one of them out to dry, and then people will get really irritated with you. So you'll look at the one that more people are in, and you'll interact with them, and then the other one, you may only have 2 or 3 people even watching, but they're leaving comments and you're not noticing them. I am kind of bad. Like, I live stream, obviously, on the channel all the time now. Most of our content is live streaming. And like I said earlier, it's that difficult balancing act of live streaming versus just making videos, where I am kind of ignoring the chat probably way too much, honestly, where like we'll get real hip deep into a review and a conversation and people are saying interesting things, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm focused in creating the product I'm creating. And so it's like, well, why even live stream if you're not going to interact with people? So I've got to find that balance a little bit better. So I kind of worry about streaming simultaneously when I'm already not good at reading more of the comments as I go along. And I don't think a streamer has to read and respond to every single comment that's left, but I do think I could do better with it than I have. And that's something I've learned as I'm looking at Twitch is, I'm kind of not a great live streamer in that way, in that, like, I don't know if you noticed it, but today I'm trying to read more of the comments because, folks are, partly because people are cool enough to like leave comments trying to interact with you, so it's just polite. But also, one of the things that I'm finding is addictive about Twitch is I'll leave a comment for someone and I'll start a conversation with them, and it's really cool when they notice you and you're liking them and you're interested in them, and then you start a conversation up, and that's the big thing that's making me look at Twitch more. So looking at it as a viewer, as opposed to, because I don't look at a lot of web content. I mean, I listen to podcasts and stuff, but like the sort of stuff that I make is the sort of stuff that I don't look at as much. And so looking at it from a viewer perspective, I'm finding myself looking at it kind of differently and going, oh, this is what I should do because of what is fun about being a viewer. And, looking at it from in those shoes. Anyway, Let me... I guess I'm going to have to... I want to get around that overwhelm, but I don't think I can. So that sucks because I'm going to lose a turn here. Sorry, I spent way too much time talking about that. Is it going to be Golden Power Staff? I think maybe it is. Because if I have to lose 2 turns... Yeah, okay. So, Golden Power Staff. And we haven't recovered yet with anybody, so I am only down... So I'm down to only 1 reserve energy at the moment. I'm going to throw 6 dice at Z-Shield, which is definitely overkill. And I hit it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I doubled what I needed. That goes on the track. And then I could go ahead and use Dragozord. Exhaust this card when an enemy card is defeated. Deal 2 damage, divided as you choose among enemy cards adjacent. So I will hit Z-Shield for 2. And then Golden Power Staff also lets me resolve an ability on 1 card in my discard pile. A Gold Ranger ability, the King Kanji there. Oh, cool. So I will resolve the one from Lightning Rod, which lets me do a damage to Z-Shield, and I killed both of them on 1 turn. So that's good. And then, thanks, Tom. I see that super chat, and I will tackle that here in just a minute. And then... if you roll at least 1... Oh, did I get a blank? I got at least 1 blank, I think. If I'm wrong, in anybody that was really paying attention, let me know, and I'll unsheet this, but I'm pretty sure that I did. So, Honor of Aquitar, I can put a damage on Overwhelm because I rolled a blank. And then, Overwhelm... But I don't have any way to also kill it. Well, you know what? Actually, let me do this a different way. Yeah, let me do this a different way. I'm going to kill that Overwhelm instead of the Z-Shield. And then I'll put 1 damage on the Z-Shield from Honor of Aquitar. That's what I'll do. Okay, so then... Oh, I don't even have to worry about the turn getting skipped now because of that. So that just resolves, and now I'm 1 ahead, and I have to hit Z-Shield for 2. Boss. Okay, I'm not even going to draw anything right now, because I don't think I need to. Tom, $10 super chat, then I would make a post or short video on YouTube to say you're going live on Twitch. Yeah, that's what I would do if I made a Twitch channel. Also, maybe make an announcement channel in the public Discord to announce when you're going live. Those are good suggestions. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. AMC, I think you're better with comments, Cap. No matter, you should probably just refer us over to your hypothetical Twitch so you don't split the live audience and stand a better chance of getting noticed over there. Yeah, if I do this more often, that is very likely what I'll do. I thought about trying out Twitch this afternoon and just messaging, like you and Tom said, just doing an announcement so you guys could come over and see me there if you wanted to. But I had kind of limited time to set up, and it took, with the camera setup I did today, it took me long enough with everything that I was like, you know what, I'm not going to try to start a new platform today. I'm just going to stream here, and then maybe next time I'll try the other platform. And I also am trying to decide if I'm going to do the simultaneous thing. Lewis Cox, I believe you can put something like this on Twitch. You have I believe you can put something like this on Twitch on you have keep uploading until people at Twitch see you uploading for something like, I guess. I'm not totally sure what you mean there, Lewis Cox. There's a couple typos there, but yeah, getting noticed would take some doing and would take some time. But I do have a leg up in that I've at least got, you know, a few of you guys that like watching me play this game and do, you know, silly game streams and stuff. So I'm not starting from absolute scratch. So that's good. Let's try the Sequishin Knuckle thing because it's hilarious. So I'm going to throw 1 die at Z-Shield. And I hit it for 1. And that's actually not what I wanted to do. I was hoping for a blank because then I could do 3 damage to it. But that's okay. I did it because we are 1 ahead anyway. And I could draw again, but I'm not going to. I could just do that again. Which is kind of funny. Let's see. I already did Honor of Aquitar. So yeah, let's just do Aquitian Knuckle again. Oh, it's so cool to finally have an Aquitian in the game. When I was a kid, I always wanted to call them Aquitarians. Because I think that's what Star Trek would call it. Aquitarians. Okay, hit it for 1 again. And that clears that whole section. And now we have got to do some recovering. So, unfortunately, in solo mode, you can't go to the middle and power up. That's what I would really like to do right now. But instead, I'm going to have to pay to do some recovering, and I think I might do it twice. So let's go ahead and recover Gold Ranger. We're going to get the Golden Power Staff back, and an Inspiring Presence, and a Lightning Rod. The best card in the game. Probably not, but it's my favorite. And then so you get to recover 6 shields of 2 characters in solo mode with 1 recovery action. So we will get her Aquitian Saber back because we're going up against a pretty nasty monster. And then do I want Winter's Guile or a Laser? Let's get the Aquitian Laser. Oh, and I forgot. In this mode, I gotta be careful that I don't put the wrong White Ranger cards with the wrong White Ranger deck. But in this mode, you actually shuffle your deck instead of just stacking it. It's also important to throw your cards everywhere. Make sure to do that, kids. Throw them. AMC Cap, did you hear that one of the big Arrowverse writers said they may bring Superman and Lois back into the Arrowverse to keep it going and bring back some of the old characters? Oh, really? Weird. I mean, I have a hard time being too frustrated about that because I've only seen 1 season of that show, but that I don't think anybody's going to care. Like that seems like kind of a self-indulgent sort of thing, where it's like they're sentimental about it, so they got to make sure that it keeps going. It'd be, I could sort of understand them wanting to do more Arrowverse characters because of like people they like to work with and stuff if they hadn't already said it was out of the Arrowverse, but like, don't take it out and then put it back. But then the question is, how easy would it be to just say it was the whole time? Like, did they do anything specific in an episode that made it totally disconnected from that, considering that, I don't know, like, how hard would it be to just say it was in another universe in the multiverse of the Arrowverse the entire time? Like, how difficult would that be? But yeah, that sounds silly. Okay. We need to do 1 more recovery action, I think. I wish I could be totally fresh here, honestly. We've got 2 heavy hitters already, so I don't think I need to grab hers necessarily. I think it'd be better to get more cards. Although she has a really good one. Mystic Frost. Let's actually do 2 Mystic Frosts, because those are kind of nice. And 2 Aquitian Knuckles. That's right, I said Knuckles. Okay, we've got all of our reserve energies again. Oh, wait. Actually, no, we don't, because we... Let me think. Oh, yeah. Never mind. Because I just did 2 recoveries, and I recovered you know, 3 characters. And actually, I get to do somebody else again. So, am I going to do... See, I just did Mystic White, so it's going to have to be Delphine or Trey, isn't it? Yeah, we'll just do Gold Ranger then. 3, 4, 5, 6, because that gets him completely fresh, so that's good. Tom, I believe you can toggle your videos on Twitch so people can watch them after you're done streaming. You can, but only for 60 days, I think. Lewis Cox, at this point, I feel Superman and Lois would be better by itself. It's been 3 seasons now. It might be canceled after this or not. Yeah, I kind of thought that we were going to know by now if it was getting renewed, but I don't think they've officially announced that. And I don't think the fact that nearly everything else at the CW has been canceled means that that show won't continue, because it's so much more of a Max thing that, like, the way I understand it, it seems like Max put up the money for it, and then they've just been airing it on the CW. So, like, it's barely a CW show, and it's been, like, attitude-wise and production value-wise, it's barely a CW show. Okay, here comes Elsa. Elsa, who does not have her zipper face, which is sad, because that's my favorite look for her, and I hated when they took it away from her in the show. And when I finally paint her, I'm going to give her the zipper. I'm going to draw it on myself. That's my plan. Here she comes. And I've only played her a couple times, so I don't even know what she does. Blast Cascade. Blast Cascade. Apostle's Blade. I don't know if that's actually called that in the show, but that is a badass name. And Rapid Cuts. Oh, no. Is it 7? Is it 7 deadly cuts? Yeah, it's rough. She sounds more samurai-esque than she seems in the show, though. And then we got to put out our 4 Z putties. So we've got Fierce Strike, Overwhelm, Self-Destruct, and Fierce Strike. This is a squeaky chair, folks. Drawn back up to 7. 4, 5, 6. I think I'm just going to take 3 Gold Ranger cards. We've got our Lightning Rod. We got our Inspiring Presence. Good stuff. Couple energy in the pool. Hit me for 1, 2, and 3. Now, what I'm trying to remember, I'm always on the fence about this. I think you can split that between different characters because it's separate. So, like, if it was take 3 damage, one person has to take all that. But when it's take 1, 2, then 3, I think different characters can take them. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's have Delphine take the first one. Oh, that was an Equation Laser. Okay, I wish I'd done that for 2. And then we'll have Udana take the 1, so she loses Discipline. And I'm sorry, not the 1, the 2. So she loses Discipline and Equation Knuckle. Crap. And then Golden Guard, I also lose. Mystic. Okay, I'm already mixing up my cards here. Hold on. Mystic. 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 Let me just make sure that I don't have the wrong cards in the wrong spots here. Why did I have to do 2 White Ranger decks? Okay, I lost a few cards over that. So Apostle's Blade is deal 4 damage, then the Ranger with the fewest cards in their deck must discard the top card of their deck. And Blast Cascade is each Ranger must discard cards from the top of their deck until they are tied, what? With all other Rangers for having the fewest cards in their deck, then deal 3 damage. That is so convoluted. I want to kill it so I don't have to deal with it. Okay. I don't have big cards right now. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Apostle's Blade with a Lightning Rod. And then hope I can get some heavy hitters after that. I am throwing 2 dice to Apostle's Blade. And they're both blanks, which usually would be a giant boo. But right now, blanks are good. So we're going to use Honor of Aquitar. Once per battle, when any ranger rolls a blank result, deal 1 damage to an enemy card of your choice. So that is like it was a 1. And oh yeah, reserve strength will come later. So I hit it for 1, and then there's 1 direct damage. And then you deal a direct damage to an enemy card of your choice. And then we're going to use Trey's ability, which is to spend an energy to resolve that ability a second time. So we put another direct damage on Apostle's Blade using Power of Triforia. And that, gentlemen, is why Lightning Rod usually can hit anything for 4. So that card resolves, and now we got to figure out how to take out this Blast Cascade. I like the name of that card. I am going to draw a Gold Ranger card, and I got my Golden Power Staff. Yes, indeed. We're going to need that. And in fact, I kind of wish that I could add something to it, because a 6 against a 5 is good, but it may not manage it. Let's also play Inspiring Presence first, which gains us an energy, and then lets us play another card. Oh no, it's another ranger of your choice. Never mind. Pardon me. So you can do that in doubles, but you can't do that in solo mode. Because in doubles, you count as another ranger, but in solo mode, you don't. So, Golden Power Staff. Oh, you know what? I never moved my guys over here. Also, I didn't flip to move, and I didn't initiate. So this is the last thing we're going to be able to do, this deployment. And that means that we can't flip an action to get energy, so we're going to be in energy trouble. This is not going to go well. I can already kind of tell. Because in order to play Golden Power Staff, I'm going to have to throw everything I've got right now. But the good news is I can convert a damage to a blank here in a little bit to gain 2 energy. And also, Dragozord comes back for me because I want to say I used that the first round. I just defeated an enemy card, so I'm going to put 2 damage on... Let me go ahead and put it on the second Blast Cascade. And we'll hope we can kill the first one all on its own with Golden Power Staff. So otherwise that would be overkill, and I want to make sure that we can kill it. So... Oh, we're not going to lose all of our reserve energies, are we? So that's good. We still got 1. All right, first Blast Cascade. First, Billy Kincaid. Let's do a fan-made Spawn variant of this game and fight Billy Kincaid. And he can... We can kill him with popsicle sticks. All right, here we go. Whoa, that was a weird throw. I only hit it for 2. Okay. And like I said, blanks are usually good, but in this particular case, they're not. Well, okay, actually, let me just hit it for 1 and then convert one of these to a blank so that we can gain energy. We will go ahead and do that since that was awful. And then that energy or that damage is going to happen to us. So each, or it's not even damage. Okay, so now we actually have to deal with this. Let me read it again. Each ranger must discard cards from the top of their deck until they're tied with all other rangers for having the fewest cards in their deck. Okay, so White Aquitar Ranger has 4 cards. Gold Ranger has 5 cards, so we have to discard the top card there. That's Armored Blow. And White Mystic Ranger has 2, 3, 4, 5, so she has to discard a card. That was not the worst thing in the world. And it was also not as convoluted as I thought it was. Like, it was ultimately easy to do. but I hadn't dealt with it before, and it just sounded kind of nuts. Okay, so that has resolved. That is not at all the worst thing that could have happened to us, by the way. Lewis Cox, Honor of Aquitar sounds like a cool card. It is. Yeah, it's her Ranger ability. No, I like it a lot. And again, it's perfect for Jason. Lewis Cox, Cap, what Ranger color would you like to be? So my favorite Ranger is Gold Ranger, but that's not my favorite color, if that makes any sense, because like somebody mentioned last Power Ranger stream, he is basically a Black Ranger that has some gold in him. So my actual favorite color, just as a color, not in Power Rangers or anything, is purple. So I would probably want to be a purple Ranger, but I would want to be like a purple Ranger that looked like a cool badass 6 Ranger with some kind of like shoulder pads and that whole getup. And Ty, who's been doing some art for me for the channel, he's cooking up a couple of really cool things right now. He actually designed a Ranger suit for me that we did during a stream that some of you guys have seen maybe. And he was doing I don't know if he finished it. He was doing a really cool pose with it where he was trying to give me like a staff, like my signature weapon. That was pretty neat. So yeah, I'd be a Purple Ranger. And there's a guy on Etsy that sells these like screen accurate looking communicators from Mighty Morphin. And I always wanted one of the legacy communicators, but they are not buyable now. They're all just ridiculously expensive, prohibitively expensive. And his are like somewhere between $70 and $80, which is reasonable. And anyway, he has a purple one, and I've thought about buying that one. There's a gold one, but he's not selling those right now for some reason and hasn't been for a while. So I would probably get the gold one if I could, but I'm thinking about getting the purple one. And then I'll wear that when I do these streams. Okay, Blast Cascade, I only have to hit for 3 now, and I get to draw another card. Should I draw from White Aquitar Ranger, Gold Ranger, or Mystic? They are the same size right now. So I'm going to let you guys tell me. I won't draw until somebody tells me which deck to draw from. So I'll just wait for a second and drink some water. And the first person that tells me which deck to draw from, that's what we'll draw from. And we'll hope that we get a really good attack. So Aquitar, White Aquitar, Gold Ranger, or White Mystic Force. What do you think? Somebody throw one out. And I will study the rest of these cards while I'm waiting. Oh, I rolled some blanks just now. I could do Encouraging Word. Play this card when another Ranger rolls at least 1 blank. Yeah, and that was another Ranger because it was Gold Ranger. So I can do this. They may choose 1 card from their discard pile and place it on the bottom of their deck. Oh, it has to be the Ranger that did that. Cool. It can't be Golden Power Staff because we wouldn't have... Oh, actually... Because it wouldn't be in the discard pile yet. I don't think that would work, but I'll go ahead and put Lightning Rod on the bottom. Okay, either nobody cares or nobody's paying attention. So I will go ahead and draw from White Mystic Ranger. And I did not get an attack, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and do... Well, at least we gain some energy there. Fainting Slash would give me 3 dice. Okay, that's cool. I was just studying a reaction here that you might see me use here in a second. AMC, I needed to hear the options again. Oops. Okay, I'll let you do it after I do this next attack, because I can draw every time. So AMC, it's White Aquitar Ranger or Gold Ranger or Mystic, a White Mystic Ranger. Let's do a flash freeze or a fainting slash. No, an extra turn would be really good right now. So I'm going to throw 3 dice at Blast Cascade. And I hit it for 3. Oh, this is perfect. That was exactly the right roll because I also got a blank. Oh, wait, no. That's not exactly the right roll. You have to get 2, and then you get an additional turn. Well, that's okay. It's no big deal. So, yeah, AMC. It's Aquitar, Zeo Gold, or White Mystic. AMC wants me to pick Aquitar. And I got her heavy hitter. And I've actually got... That's awesome. Thank you for that choice. That was a good call there, AMC, because... Let's see, Elsa resolves. Because I actually have enough energy to do it. I'm going to gain another energy with Inspiring Presence. And then I'm going to pay it to go back with a Quishin Saber. And I'm going to attack the other Blast Cascade again for 6 dice. And I gain energy for every blank rolled. Which means if I have a real crap roll, I'll get a bunch of energy. And that would be awesome. 2, 4, 5. Perfect. 5 is what I needed. Well, actually, 4 is what I needed. So I killed Blast Cascade. Okay, I said a minute ago we probably wouldn't get through this. We're actually in good shape. We're going to be fine. So we're not going to have to go after Elsa again. And that's great. And I got 3 blanks, so I get 3 energy. That is a spectacular signature weapon. What time is it here? It's already 5 o'clock. I may have to pause things after this battle and do a part 2 tomorrow or later tonight. Because I'm going to need to go get my girls up. I spent a lot of time just talking to you guys, which was fun, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to get a little bit better about the streaming thing and actually paying attention to people in the comments. So 4 damage happens to me. I'm going to mitigate that by 2 with Golden Guard. And I'm going to have Gold Ranger take it. I lost an Inspiring Presence and a Gold Rush. That was not good at all. I'm going to go back with... Wait. Let me go ahead and draw from Aquitar again. I'm going to do a Fainting Slash to Rapid Cuts, I think. I could go ahead and kill that Overwhelm so I don't lose a turn, but I think we're going to be okay, so I'm just going to throw 3 dice at Rapid Cuts. I hit it for 1. I rolled blanks, which means I get to return this card to my hand instead of discarding it. I'm going to play Encouraging Word and take a card from my discard pile and place it on the bottom of my deck. And that is going to be Aquitar Saber. Yay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to take 2 damage with Overwhelm. And I lost a Fainting Slash, but not an Aquishin Laser. I did not lose a Lacer. And the Self-Destruct also resolves. I've got 2 turns to beat that Rapid Cuts. And I can also draw a card right now. Let's get a Gold Ranger card. That's an Armored Blow. Let's play a Fainting Slash again. See, I got to put that in my hand. This is the rapid cuts. Yes, I beat it. So, Elsa is done. We are in good shape right now, guys. Fierce Strike resolves, hits me for 4 damage. Do I have any mitigators? No. So let's do it from Mystic Force. Oh, man, that actually killed her. I can't even believe that. So I lost 3 cards out of those 4 defense, and we lose an energy out of the command center. And right at the end of this, I actually killed Udana. That's crazy. But the good news is that means that she completely refreshes for next turn. So there is a good payoff for that anyway. Man, that is not what I thought was going to happen there. I guess I should have done it from somewhere else. Although, yeah, Gold Ranger might have had like a 3 and a 2, and we would have been okay. It's hard to say if anybody else would have made it out of that alive either. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'll go ahead and put out the 3rd deployment. We'll see what it looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream for now, and I will come back either tonight or tomorrow to finish the game. Overall, we're not doing too bad, though. So we killed Elsa, unpainted, pasty white Elsa, and all the foot soldiers run away. We didn't actually kill any of them this time, so we're no closer to another Zord, but we do get 1 Zord, of course, so we only have to kill 2 more to get to our 3rd Zord. And our 2nd Zord this time is going to be White Titan form. So Mystic White Ranger just gets big herself. She's like Ninjor. Exhaust this card during any ranger attack. Convert 1 damage or double damage to a blank result. If you do, immediately defeat 1 foot soldier card. Cool. And I guess I forgot to sleeve this one. I actually just bought tarot card size sleeves for these that came in the mail today, and I got them all sleeved except for that one. Okay, so we're going to have our 2nd monster, who is scary, Tenaya 7 with a Mastodon Trooper. I mean, I haven't played her yet, but she looks really scary. And that's going to go to the Resistance hideout. Panicked automatically because she is a monster. Tenaya 7 is a monster. And then we're going to have a Mastodon Trooper. I need to be more organized with my foot soldiers. Mastodon Trooper at the Zord Graveyard. 2 Mastodon Troopers. I'm like a kid with a messy toy box here. At the Dockyard. And finally, 2 Zs at the Zord Graveyard. Okay, like I said, that's going to do it for me right now, but thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you had a good time, and sometime either tonight or tomorrow, I'll come back and finish the game. We're about halfway there, so farewell, everybody. I got to go take care of my kids, but I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I guess it's the start of your evening, so have a great night. Enjoy dinner and whatever else you might have going on, and I'll see you later. Bye, folks.